Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back to Chef HD. George Kringas here. All right, now pay attention. This sandwich was the start of everything culinary for me. It's the reason why I love Greek food so much, and also the reason I started my food truck back in 2013. This sandwich basically explains the way I cook. Everything I look for when I'm cooking or creating a new dish. I'm talking about my favorite sandwich of all time, the pork souvlaki pita. So I'm gonna show you step by step. We're gonna make our own pita today. I'm gonna show you how to butcher. I'm gonna show you the cut of pork that I use. We're gonna marinate the meat. We're gonna skewer the meat. We're gonna make tzatziki today, which I know some of you are excited about. Then I'm gonna show you how to assemble our pita and top them off with our crispy hand-cut fries. If you missed that episode, check it out. Link is up top. The best hand-cut fries you'll ever taste in your life. I guarantee it. So enough talking, let's get started with the pita bread. All right, so we got 3 cups of flour. We got 1.5 cups of warm water. We're gonna do 2 teaspoons of dry active yeast. And we're gonna do a teaspoon of sugar. All right, whisk that together. You don't wanna go too hot on the water, maybe around 75 degrees. This is what you do to proof your yeast, to check if the yeast is still alive. If you got some old yeast, old yeast no good. So we're gonna add about 1/2 cup of flour to this yeast mixture. All right, mix that in real good, all right? And then we're gonna let this sit for about 10 minutes. So we got our yeast proofing over here on the side. We're gonna take the rest of our flour, put it into our mixing bowl. With the salt, we're gonna do about 1.5 teaspoons. All right guys, so check it out. We're nice and bubbly, right? Look at that. Mix this yeast up and just slowly pour it in, all right? All right, we're gonna add a little olive oil in there, about 1 tablespoon. And now turn the speed up a little bit. I always use one of these to help the mixer along. You know, if the flour gets stuck on the side. There we go. Check that out. There it is. Right now we're looking for like a shaggy mess. We're gonna let the mixer do its thing for about 4 to 5 minutes. All right, there we go. Looking right, perfect. Lightly flour the station a little bit. All right, we want to fold each side basically over itself, right? And we want to kind of go about, it's about 5 turns basically of the dough here. All right, now we turn it over and we're left with a little ball right here. And there we go. All right, so add a little bit of oil to your mixing bowl. Just like that, just grease it up. All right, throw that back in there. So we want this dough to double in size right now. So put a towel on it. All right guys, so we got our pita dough rising. Let's move on to pork. I use a pork shoulder. The fat content in this is very important for a souvlaki. Look at all this nice like soft fat here. But on the grill, most of that's gonna melt away. And traditional souvlaki, this is the way to do it. So just follow along. I'm Greek, trust me. Yeah, that looks good to me, man. Just straight up Greek street food. If you ask any Greek on the street what the most important part of pork souvlaki is, he's gonna tell you the tzatziki, the fat. So you wanna leave some of that in here, and we're just gonna cube that up. All right, there we go, guys. That's our pork all cut up. Those are the cubes you're looking for right there. And now I'm gonna show you the right way to marinate souvlaki. All right, so I usually go by weight to salt. So in the restaurant, I do like a 10-pound batch. I do 3 tablespoons to 10 pounds of meat. This is approximately, I could just tell, but this is about 2.5 pounds of meat, 3 pounds of meat. We're gonna do just 1 tablespoon. Equal amounts of oregano. This is good Greek oregano. I talked about this in my French fry recipe. But this stuff is, without a doubt, the best oregano in the world. All right, same amount. A little pinch of black pepper. 1 big lemon like that. And just squeeze that bad boy in there. Juicy. And now olive oil, equal parts, all right? What you want to do with your hand now is mix that in, and you want to get like almost like a cream, like a little emulsion going with the olive oil in there. With the meat fat and with the acid from the lemon, you're gonna see a little cream start to form on top of the meat. And keep adding your olive oil until you see it start to separate a little bit. And all said and done, I mean, if you want it a little saltier, just add a little more salt. If you want less salt, pull back a little bit. This is the way I do it. I think it's spot on from my memories when I was like a little fat Greek kid eating my yaya souvlaki sticks. I mean, she had a heavy hand with salt, so I'm passing that on. And these flavors, I mean, you can smell it. I think we can go with a little extra oregano. So if you take this recipe and move it on to a chicken breast, pull back on the oregano a little bit. It gets a little bitter, but the pork holds it very well. That's the souvlaki marinade. All right, y'all, now I'm gonna show you how to put this thing on skewers. It's pretty self-explanatory. So you take, what I try to do is I take the long end of it, put the skewer, first of all, I test my skewer. If that's no good, that's no good. You don't use that one. So there you go. Just be careful because these ones with the pork, you got a little extra sinew in there and a little extra fat. If you push too hard, that's why I do a stress test. If you push too hard and the thing snaps, it's gonna go right through your hand. A little like that. I'm laughing right now because in Greece, my little cousin used to say, "Topezis to souvlaki." So I mean, this is like the Greeks are pretty raw, you know. So if you know a Greek, you know what I'm talking about. We want to make like a skewer about that size. So as you're doing this, kind of like squeeze the meat together like that, right? As you're pushing it down. You don't want any gaps. If you leave any wood showing, that fire is going to burn that stick and they're just going to fall apart, all right? The stick's going to break on you. This is the Greek Holy Trinity. Olive oil, fresh lemon juice, oregano. Boom, that's it. All right, so you can let this meat marinate for up to a day or two, but I really don't find it's necessary. There's enough acid in there and enough salt. So now we're ready for the tzatziki. You want to get it basically like that, okay? Or you can do it by hand if you want. It takes a little longer. We still need to take some of this moisture out. All right, we add a little bit of salt to that to get all the water out. Mix that in, and then we're gonna strain that. I got Fage Greek Yogurt. It's more accessible to you guys, but at the restaurant I use a heavier, almost like a double cream Greek yogurt. It's a little, it's got a little more acid to it, and normally I have to cut it with a little bit of sour cream. But with the Fage Greek Yogurt, you don't have to use anything but the yogurt. All right, so that's what we're gonna use today. Got it right here. Mix our yogurt in. And with the garlic, you guys can go as garlicky as you want on this. I know some like hardcore Greeks like that garlic, man. So I usually go with like 3 big cloves for this batch. I think it's more than enough. Pound our garlic, right? Release all those oils in there. Just do a nice rough chop. All right, so we got our cucumbers, we got our garlic, we got our Greek yogurt, and now we want to grab a bunch of dill, okay? All right, and give this a nice rough chop. Look at all the water that comes out of there. You know, that's gonna give you the extra thickness you're looking for in your tzatziki, all right? And all right, we're gonna add our dill in there. All this flavor, the garlic. We got a little red wine vinegar. And then this is my secret. You put a little bit of this in there. It gives you that extra little kick of acid. It gives you the extra little roundness of flavor. 3/4 of a tablespoon, about 1.5 tablespoons of red wine vinegar. About 2 tablespoons of olive oil. And a few pinches of salt. 1 pinch of pepper. Just mix it in there like that. Eh? Look at that tzatziki, eh? All right, guys, so that's the tzatziki. All right, yo, so check out our dough. It's nice and puffy. It's about doubled in size. We want to give it a nice, grab some flour, light flour on the surface, all right? And just boom. All right, we want to stretch this out a little bit. We're gonna cut this in half, all right? And then we're gonna cut it into equal triangles, all right? So we want, well, it's more than I thought. We're gonna get about 10 pitas out of this thing, all right? And this dough is a little different from your regular dough. It's got a little bit of that oil coming out of it. You're gonna feel it. That's what we want. It's like an oil, like an olive oil kind of dough, all right? So we're gonna take our thumb and kind of push our middle finger into the center there and kind of fold it over, right? Like a little ball, all right? And we just want to make little balls like that. Just like that. And repeat for all of them. You see how I'm doing it? Nice and slow. Boom. Throw a little bit of flour down and one bowl at a time. A little flour on the roller. And just roll these out, starting from the center, right? Flip it. Again, the same way. And don't worry, they don't have to be perfectly round. I kind of like the rusticness of the pita bread. It's pretty cool. As long as it's like somewhat round, we're okay. And move your body around the dough. You want to go in all angles here, all right? All right, so we got our nice cast iron skillet here. And we want to put it up to about 350. Get some olive oil in the pan. And we're gonna cook these for about 2 to 3 minutes on each side. All right. Once it gets in the pan, you want to stretch it out with your hand. Make that round shape now. All right. Lay it down flat like a pancake, basically, all right? All right, guys, that's our bread. Look at that bad boy, huh? It's hot, but I don't care. Hey guys, while we're doing this, make sure to check out our website, chefhd.tv. Pick up some of this cool merch. Let's get back to cooking. So now, the next step. So we take the rough side up, drizzle a little olive oil, little pinch of salt. All right, just a little bit. A little coating of oregano. Rub it in a little bit with your hand, like that. Now these are ready for grilling. Just like that, all right? We got our pork sticks, we got our marinated pita bread, and we're ready to go grill. All right, guys, so we're in my restaurant. I didn't want to get the charcoal going. Obviously, it's cold outside. We work with what we got. When you're working with Souvlaki, you want to grill press like this. You can pick this up at any, I think Home Depot even has these bad boys, but look them up on Amazon. We're gonna give a little squirt of lemon juice. Now guys, this smell is heaven. Grab a little piece of paper, like a parchment paper, your grilled pita. Boom. I put the oregano side down. Remember we put the oregano on there, right? You grab a little bit of tzatziki, just smear it down just like that. Look how pretty that looks. Grab your tomato, couple slices down like that, souvlaki, and carefully just twist it off of the skewer just like that, all right? And now, a little bit of onion. This is up to you too. If you like that red onion like I do, just load it on there, all right? And we got the most delicious fry you'll ever taste in your life. Just a couple of those on there, right? And with one finger here, with your pointer finger and your other hand, and your hand holding the paper like that, you just lift up on the other side and hold it basically like that, okay? Pinch shut. And now you fold over both sides and you squeeze that seam tight. All right, that's your seal. Now fold over again, just like that. Pinch in the back, fold over, pinch again. All right, now that's a pita. All right. All right, guys, I've been waiting for this all night. It's time to taste these bad boys. All right, assume the position a little bit, right? Like I'm back 10 years old, just like fat and just ready to eat my pitas. All right. Yo, guys, I just transported myself back to when I was 10 years old. This is it right here. This is everything to me. So enjoy this recipe and know that I put my heart into this bad boy. I'll put money on it. All right, better than you're gonna get in Athens, better than you're getting in Santorini. Wherever you go in Greece, you found it here. Oh. All right, guys, so that's my souvlaki pita. That's my love. That's everything for me for culinary, all right? So if you guys liked the episode, please subscribe. Give me a thumbs up. Make sure to check out our website again, chefhd.tv. Pick up some merch, support the channel, and we'll see you again next week. Peace.